So in this week's episode, we're going to have a chat about Kingdom Recommends, of course, is your new brand, starting with the product of gin. We've got a few guests in this week's episode, so we've got Lenny over here. Would you like to introduce yourself as the operations manager?
Yeah, Lenny Cunningham. Been working with Kingdom for 6 months now, and I'm the operations manager of the group.
And then we've also got our two lovely bartenders.
So we'll be looking after you today, making your drinks for you. I'm Guy Purser.
And Owen Jones.
So first I'm going to make you a red snapper with Kingdom's gin. So just like the Bloody Mary style. So I've already put in some English mustard, and I'm going to throw a little tomato juice, your gin, lemon juice, and then a little bit of Tabasco.
Well, a bit more Tabasco.
Bit more than that?
A bit more than good
Like
Tabasco. We like it hot, we like it spicy, you know, that's part of the...
And we've got some Worcestershire sauce in there as well.
Yeah.
And I'm going to throw that. So the reason that we throw these drinks is because we want to aerate it, but we don't want to over dilute it. So what you normally do, like when shaking a drink, is you get that heavy dilution where we're going to start throwing it. It's because we want to get that aeration without diluting it too much to keep that tomato juice in there.
That looks amazing. That looks amazing. I've got to say, so part of the gin that he's using, which is the ginger spice, is my favourite, the Navy strength ginger spice, and that's all about passion and a bit of life and a bit of fire in it, and it works very, very well in this Bloody Mary. I hope he's done it to spec.
Done it justice.
I reckon you could do with another couple of drops in there.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. And as most people that know me, I like my food spicy, I like my drink a little bit punchy. And I guess, you know, Kingdom Recommends has been a dream for since we opened the suburbs with Nick and Sean. We were looking at trying to have a mini distillery at the back, but it never came to fruition. But you know, when lockdown came about, you know, it was a time to kick on that idea and work on that idea and basically bring this to life. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
So I guess going back to the start, how did this come about? How did the actual idea become?
The idea, as I said, has been in situ for the last 8 years or so, and you know, with lockdown came the opportunity to try and diversify and try and bring something a bit different and do some of the projects that maybe because we've been working and whatever, we've not had the opportunity to do that. And I've been talking to Chris from Henston Distillery for a little while about ideas on the kind of gin that we'd like to create. All Kingdom's recommend gins are very much about sipping gins, which is a total different way of drinking gin. It's not necessarily we were trying to encourage you to drink gin as it is, instead of having to put a tonic or mixers or etc. You know, we took it from there. There was a lot of up and down in terms of trying to get the final product, which was, as you know, always the fun part. But also, I think, you know, the team were involved in terms of trying to figure out the kind of flavors that we wanted. I knew for a fact we wanted to do ginger spice, but we've been able to produce things like obviously the orange and nutmeg. We've got the luscious lychee coming up. I think in the next couple of weeks or so, with the cherry coming up. You know, there's some exciting products coming to fruition. Whilst
And the brand itself has evolved, you know, quite a lot over the last 12 months. You know, it's gone from a thought process, building a brand and creating logo to then developing the product to what it is today. And it's you know, it's even the bottle itself has evolved from you know, where we started with a small kind of fat showy bottle to kind of like the product that it is today. And the detail that's gone into the whole product, from just the bottle, label, logo, the cap, the sealer, you know, every single detail, thought process has gone into making sure that the product is the perfect finish.
And again, to add to that, we've got a great team that are actually working very hard behind the scenes. Pam, Karen, obviously Molly, Chris at Hanston, Vic, trying to make sure that actually the product and the way it's presented is true to the spirit of Ubuntu and what we're trying to achieve.
So what's this one then?
So we've got a little twist on the martini there, so we've got a bit of the extra flavour in, so we've got your gin, your vermouth, and then a little bit of the nutmeg and the orange peel over the top. So sort of go back to that old school classic cocktail way of doing things. Don't overcomplicate things, like keep it simple. And yeah, just the flavours in the gin, with that orange nutmeg, really pull it out, yeah.
I guess off the back of that then, a question for you, Kingdom, would probably be, I know from previous episodes of knowing you personally, you're a massive whiskey drinker.
Yeah.
So I guess a lot of people who know you would want to know kind of why you went down the avenue of gin as opposed to another spirit.
I think gin was a spirit and a product that we felt we could actually have so many different flavours from and created a bigger range with where we're starting with. And I think the other thing as well is that gin, with gin and the fact that 8 years ago we wanted to create a little gin as well, it kind of kept on with the thing that actually we could create a sipping gin that was not in the industry, well, not in the market as such at the moment. And that's why we went with gin. And obviously, we'll probably talk more about the production that we're producing, the rum that we're producing at the moment, and hopefully, touch wood, one day we'll hopefully have a whiskey. But yeah, gin is where we started.
I think we're not a gin making company. We're Kingdom Recommends is a company that will diversify into lots of spirits and eventually have a full back bar range. But the popularity of gin at the moment is huge still, and so that was our first step in. As Kingdom says, we've got vodka and rum on the way down the line. So, eventually we'll want to have a full, back bar range to kind of like complement Kingdom Recommends.
I think a drink's arrived for you as well there.
Yeah.
So you've got a Kingdom's Reviver, which is just a basic twist on a Cold Reviver, which is really old school, nice cocktail. So equal parts gin, Cointreau, Lillet Blanc, lemon juice, a tiny little bit of sugar, and then absinthe around the glass.
Strong.
Beautiful.
Just say cheers to everyone.
Cheers.
Cheers.
We're trying and sampling these drinks.
Thanks for the drinks.
Yeah, they're lovely. So I
Thank you
guess,
very much, boys.
Lenny, off the back of what you've just said with regards to Kingdom Recommends diversifying and having plans in the future to kind of branch out into other spirits, why Kingdom Recommends as a brand? Why not Kingdom's Gin, Kingdom's Vodka, etc.?
Well, yeah. So obviously, Kingdom Recommends isn't just going to be products that we make ourselves. It'll be products that we'll look to other suppliers of one-off spirits or one-off brands, and if we feel that they are a product that we would want to bring to market with our wholesale license and help that person grow within their business, then we've got the option to be able to not just list our own products, but products that Kingdom Recommends himself.
And again, also, it's going back to the spirit of Ubuntu. Sorry to interrupt, but it's going back to that spirit of, if we can help other brands and help other people be able to grow, then that's what we're about. And it's not just about our individual journey, but it's about the collective journey that we can hopefully be part of.
Yeah, because obviously this has been in the pipeline for quite a number of years, but as a company, we've just started to evolve and grow now, and we feel like we've got the financial stability to be able to grow as a company quite rapidly and quite big. Whereas we hear constantly out there there's people that have got these ideas and got these brands that they would like to go, but just don't have the financial backing, or equally haven't got the knowledge of where to go to next. So with us and our history and our background together now, we feel that we'll be able to speak to these one-off individual people and go, we can give you a hand into the market and push your product out. So that's the aim goal that Kingdom Recommends. So we're actually a business that'll recommend other products as well as the ones that we're making ourselves, which we of course will recommend.
Yes.
But I think it's an amazing concept, to be honest. Both of you having had so many years in hospitality and being kind of both experts in your fields, it really will be a great chance for people to kind of see what's out there and not just our own products, but everything else. But with regards to kind of when we started creating this brand and making the gin, what kind of challenges did you face with regards to that?
Bottling.
Well, there was huge amounts. I mean, huge amounts. Obviously, working with the distillery on profile, first of all, was the first kind of goal, and making sure that we've got the product that we wanted. And then obviously, Henstone's never worked with flavours before, so we had to kind of like be guided by them of how to then, you know, the flavours that Kingdom wanted into his bottle, you know, were what, you know, the end result, what we wanted. And then the quality of the product equally, to make sure that, you know, we weren't breaking the spirit itself down with the flavours, and we were kind of like creating a flavour profile that would complement the gin rather than take over.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of gins out there that are very harsh flavour and fake flavour gins, whereas this is kind of like to complement the gin itself. And then, you know, bottling was a massive one, you know, where we were getting our, you know, at the moment we purchase our bottles from a different supplier, it then has to come to hand, so it's be bottled, then it goes to another product placement to then be bottled. Yeah, and then the corks come from a different supplier and the lid comes from a different supplier, and it's then putting that whole product together.
I think even the name was a big thing, you know, and you know, most people go, oh yeah, you must have just woken up and gone, no, we'll call it Kingdom Recommends, or we'll call it Kingdom's Gin. But actually, that wasn't actually the start. You know, we were talking with the team about calling it Suburbs Gin. We were talking about loads of different ideas, and Karen actually came up with, we'll just call it Kingdom's Gin. But then actually, you know, the experience that we've had over the last, you know, 8 years of the business, and then obviously the experience of the last 21 years of being in England, then, you know, that passion and that drive that was part of creating the gin, and the passion of being in the industry and working with the guys that we sat here with, was sort of the driving part that actually this is what we should be calling it, and that's how we go forward.
And it is amazing. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, and it is a real life story, isn't it? It's not a case that we've just picked gin, put a logo on it and created a product. You know, with each bottle there's a story, there's history, there's, you know, that will bring then, you know, a whole kind of development range to the product. So, you know, we've obviously got the Lion, that's going to be the gin. We'll go down the route for our 5 main products to be the Big 5 from Africa, which is obviously quite close to Kingdom's history. Which is
also part of their charities that we're working with, trying to promote and get funds so that we can make sure that in the next 50 years, 100 years, we still have lions, we still have elephants, we still have hippos, we still have the buffalo, we still have the leopard, we still have giraffes, all these animals that, you know, are being sadly, you know, poached and attacked. You know, part of the profits of this company is going to support that mission.
Yeah, I think what you said, you know, although the product's amazing, the story's amazing, and they both are an absolute credit to the brand, there is also that philanthropic kind of edge to the brand as well, whereby absolutely. You are giving contributions to charities, you are kind of socially aware and sustainable as well. So
yeah, massively, and I think that's important because, you know, as you know, we live and breathe the spirit of Ubuntu, and you know, I think by being able to do this, well, it makes me feel very, very proud to be part of it, and very, very proud that we are at this stage whereby we can actually make a difference. And again, as I said, you know, with COVID and everything that we've all experienced, and the hardship and the, you know, mental health and all the other issues that we've had, we're still looking forward, and we're looking positive, and we're looking to the future, and that's what we need to be doing, and making sure that going forward we can make the impact that is positive in people's lives.
Yeah,
definitely. And also, with regards to the flavours at the moment, I know that there's the orange and nutmeg, obviously the ginger spice and the London dry, and you are planning to expand for spring, but these can be enjoyed all year round.
Oh, yeah,
They're not
absolutely.
kind of seasonal flavours. So do you want to kind of touch a bit more on what we've got to come and the flavours that we already have?
Yeah, so obviously, again, we're just into kind of flavour profiling at the moment, and kind of like doing small batches of the light cherry and the cherry to kind of like make sure that it will work well and it will work with the gin that we have. And yeah, as you said, it's not just we're bringing the flavours out within the time of year and kind of like highlighting that it could be a winter flavoured gin or a summer flavoured gin, but equally, the flavours within the cocktails and sipping solely, will be an all year round product for all the flavours within there.
Yeah, if you don't mind to check, like with the orange and nutmeg as well, even though orange and nutmeg is such a winter based thing, like as soon as you add a certain like different tonic water in there or anything, or you still got that summer profile that you can still use with it. So it's not just that this is a winter gin, this can be used all year round, and it'll benefit just when you base it with the right drinks or the right tonic as well. So it's never going to be locked down to one time.
And I can see new drinks appeared on the bar.
What we got?
So we've got just a tonic here with some elderflower tonic. It's a French 75. So just gin, obviously the orange and nutmeg, lemon, a little bit of sugar and prosecco. Made by Owen. And yeah, but obviously gin's so versatile. We can use it in so many things, and it's such a staple for cocktails that this one slots perfectly in to make whatever you want with it every time.
We've done quite a few master classes now with our gin and tastings, and then obviously with every bottle that goes out, we send out kind of like a background and a history of the product, where it's come from, but equally a cocktail, recommended cocktails that go with that brand. So
that you can make at home as well.
Yeah, so everyone that kind of like purchases online will then receive kind of options of how to make these cocktails at home.
Which is a great concept, and I believe if you go on the Kingdom Recommends website as well, you can kind of see the recipes.
Yeah, you can see the recipes, and also we're developing gift packages for Mother's Day, Father's Day, for your office parties, as well as with those there will always be a bit of instructions on the different cocktails that you can make at home, so that actually you can enjoy it even more and expand your gin knowledge at home, I guess.
Brilliant. So
Or
go.
pop into one of the and very soon when we can open, you can try one of them from any of our branded bars.
Yeah.
Which would be amazing.
Yeah.
Old Duke's Yard in the suburbs.
Yes.
And the sticks to come.
And the sticks to come this year.
Which is also very exciting. I feel
Yeah,
like
very
I think
exciting.
stopped the pair of you with branching out and diversifying in the last year, even though it's been difficult for many.
I think it's important, and the message has to be that we've got to look forward, and we've got to we've had the time to reset, we've had the time to adapt, we've had the time to look back and look at what mistakes we've made, what works, what doesn't work. But ultimately it's about going forward, because we can't live in the past, and with the community that we're in and the spirit of Ubuntu, we can definitely achieve a lot more.
Definitely. And what would be kind of the one thing that you both would want to say? Or I know you've said a lot of interesting things within this interview, but I guess that you would want Kingdom Recommends customers, the Kingdom Recommends community, to kind of know from you both as an opportunity to speak to them directly.
Well, I think for me, I'm quite new to the company, and as much as you hear Kingdom talking about Ubuntu and the spirit of Ubuntu and kind of like the history and the brand and the community, for me, I've joined a company, been welcomed with open arms. My ideas have been kind of like taken on board and used and kind of pushed out across the company. So for me, I've known Kingdom for quite a long time now, probably 14 years, but now closely working to him on a one-on-one, I don't feel like he is, even though he is my boss, I feel like we work in partnership, and we kind of like, push off one another. So I truly now, in this short period, believe in the spirit of Ubuntu in this short time that I've been with the company, because to me, I've never felt so welcome when I've started working for a company. And then for everyone out there, it's get on board, join us in our adventure, and let's see where we can go in the next steps.
Well, it'll definitely be an adventure. I think we're just asking for you guys to be ambassadors of Ubuntu. It's not, whether you get our product, whether you don't get our product, but I think the message we're trying to achieve with our brand is, great quality drink, great quality brand, and ultimately pushing the spirit of Ubuntu that hopefully can galvanize the nation, galvanize the community to be able to achieve more and look after each other. And if we can make a difference in people's lives, whether it be through our continued community work or whether it be through just a story behind what's happened over the last 21 years, or finding inspiration through it, well then, if that's the case, well, I can only just say cheers.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that as well.
Cheers. Thank you for that, and I will see you soon.